We're going to look at Dynamic Link and how I can export from Premiere Pro to After Effects and back to add things like text and callouts and animated graphics and other effects. Back in session 1, we looked at how we ingest media and organise it and import it into Premiere Pro. And then in Premiere we will assemble it, edit it, get all the transitions ready, sync up the audio. And then we could ship it into After Effects, where we could add motion graphics, titles, animation, and all the other sort of effects. And then back into Premiere Pro for colour grading and the metrics. And then finishing the mastering and then export. So this is just part of that process. So I've got my sequence here in Premiere. I've edited it and it's ready to go. So I just need to select the bit that I want to export and make changes on in After Effects. So in this case it's all of it. I go to File, down to Adobe Dynamic Link. I've got a choice here of Replace with After Effects Composition, a new After Effects composition, or import After Effects composition. So if I'd made something already, I could import it here. I want to replace it with an After Effects composition because I want to add things to it and then bring that back. I'm going to choose Replace. And it will now take me into After Effects. And ask me to name what I'm working on. So you'll see it's brought in my 4 tracks here in the same order that they're in Premiere Pro. Looks quite blurry on the screen, but that's just because it's taking a lot of processing power, so we don't need to worry about that. It's brought things in one on each layer. Over here there's an extra layer called Untitled Linked Composition, so that is the import and export layer for Premiere Pro. And we'll come back to that. I'm going to reset the workspace to something that is more suitable for what I want. So Window, Workspace. I'm going to choose Small Screen. Again, we looked at why we would do that last week. Next, I'm going to choose the Text tool and come up and just type my text and place it where I want it. And then look in the effects and presets, and I'm just going to choose from text and animate turn the volume up. So you'll see that the text there stays on for longer than the clip, so I can just peel that back to match the two up. I could choose to animate out as well, so I could just choose a fade out there as well. So I can choose to do the same thing for the guitar. the effects and presets, and just make sure that lines up with my track down here so that it's not overhanging. And so on. If I go back to Premiere Pro now, you'll see that the track here, track 1, has changed now into a linked composition, and that has updated with what I did there in After Effects. If I go back to After Effects again, I can add the next thing, just trim that back there. Go back to Premiere, whatever I have just put in there will update. Just trim that. So that is dynamic link between Premiere Pro and After Effects, and it just makes your workflow very easy. You don't have to keep saving and moving and saving and moving. It means you've got access to all the text and animation options from After Effects without the problem of having to load everything up each time. You can use all the presets and just ship things in and out of Premiere in the quickest way. When you export your Premiere profile from here, it will export as what you see with the linked file included. But you do need to save both the Premiere Pro file and footage and the After Effects file and footage. To keep everything together so that you don't lose your project.